Recording in progress.
Okay, so today we are doing chapter 1.3, and we are going to learn about how to compare things in German using the positive, comparative, and superlative in German. So let's begin with the grammar. So in German, they have the positive, comparative, and superlative, just like English. And we use these ones to compare things, right? So the positive is the basic form of the adjective, which describes a noun without making any comparison. So in English, an example is going to be big, small, fast, beautiful, interesting, expensive, cheap, right? So if I should say that it is cheap, I'm not comparing to anything, right? And in that context is the positive form of the adjective. We also have comparative. That with the comparative is used to compare two things or people. So in German, it's usually formed by adding "er" to it. It's just like English. If we are comparing, we also add "er" to it. So an example is going to be bigger, smaller, faster, slower, more beautiful, more interesting, more expensive, and so on. So German too is having similar structure, and the positive form is going to be groß, and the comparative is going to be größer. Klein is kleiner, schnell is schneller, langsam is langsamer, schön is schöner, interessant is interessante, and so on, right? We are going to learn more as we are going forward with the lecture. So there are some times that we want to compare things in German. Maybe Felix is bigger than Sandra, or smarter or richer, right? And in that context, we are going to use adjective plus aus to indicate that something is bigger than something, right? So maybe this word aus is having two functions. If you join adjective and aus, then it's going to imply that more than, right? But if you just use aus alone, then it's going to mean that as, that is indicating a specific time in your life. So maybe as I was a child, I used to travel a lot, or trying to talk about a particular time in your life, then it's going to be this aus. But if you use an adjective and you join aus to it, then it's going to mean that you are trying to say that something is bigger than or more than something. Okay. So here's an example here. So Peter is größer als Marian is going to mean that Peter is bigger than Marian. Okay. And we have the adjective and we have the aus. So das Auto ist schneller als das Fahrrad. The car is faster than the bicycle. So we have the schneller, then we add the aus to it. It's going to mean that it's faster. Das Gemälde ist schöner als das Foto. So the painting is more beautiful than the photo. So in this context, it's going to be schöner das Foto, als das Foto. So we bring the adjective, we bring the aus here. Dieser Buch ist interessanter als das andere. So this book is more interesting than the other. Dieses Auto ist teuer als mein altes Auto. So the car is more expensive than my old car. Diese Schuhe sind billiger als jene. So these shoes are cheaper than those, and so on, right? So anytime that you want to compare, We are just going to pick one of these adjectives and just add "aus" to it to indicate that something is bigger than something. So the basic one is the positive, and the next one is the comparative, that is comparing. Last one is superlative, right? And the superlative is used to describe something that is as the most or the least among a group. So in German, we typically form the superlative by adding XTEN to it. If you check English, forming superlative, we add EST to it. So a word like big, comparative is going to be bigger, and superlative is going to be biggest, right? And smallest, richest. So in English, we add EST to majority of the superlative. But in German, we are going to start with am and end with XTEN. So gross like this is going to be am Grosten. Klein is going to be am Kleinsten. And if you are wondering why here is TEN, this sharp X is already double X. That's why there's no X here. Schnell is am Schnellsten. Langsam is am Langsamsten. Schön is am Schönsten. Interessant is am Interessantesten. And billig is am billigsten. Hoch is am hochsten. Niedrig is am niedrigsten. So let's check how we can use it in a statement form. So we have Peter ist am größten in der Klasse. So that implies that Peter is the biggest in the class. Das Auto ist am schnellsten. So the car is the fastest. And das Gemälde ist am schönsten im Museum. So the painting is the most beautiful in the museum. And dieses Buch ist am interessantesten in the Bibliothek. So this book is the most interesting. And dieses Auto ist am teuersten auf dem Markt. And diese Schuhe sind am billigsten im Geschäft. And the bag ist am höchsten in der Region. And the Tisch ist am niedrigsten im Raum. So forming the superlative, we start with, we put am in front of the adjective, then we add XTEN at the end. So comparing two things, we use the adjective and the aus. Now, what if like it's on the same level and we don't want to say that something is more than something, but like on the same level? Maybe Felix is just like Samuel, right? So in that context, Felix is not bigger, but they are on the same level. We are going to use genauso plus the adjective plus V. And genauso is exactly, and V is how. So the structure is going to be genauso plus the adjective plus V. So if you just pick V, it's going to mean that how. And genauso is exactly. But if you join these three, then it's used to compare that something is on the same level, which implies that just asked. So Peter ist genauso groß wie Maria, right? That implies that Peter is just like Maria. Das Auto ist genauso schnell wie das Motorrad. The car is just as fast as the motorcycle. Das Gemälde ist genauso schön wie das Foto. Dieses Buch ist genauso interessant wie das andere. Dieses Auto ist genauso teuer wie mein altes Auto. Diese Schuhe sind genauso billig wie jene. And the bag ist genauso hoch wie der Hügel. and der Tisch ist genauso niedrig wie der Stuhl. So in this context, it implies that it's on the same level. Sometimes too, we can also use so plus the adjective and the, and it's the same thing. So you have two options. We can use genauso plus the adjective plus the v, or we are going to use so plus adjective and the v. So let me form one example using the number one. So it's going to be Peter ist so groß wie Maria, right? It's going to mean that Peter is as big as Maria. That means that they are on the same level. So that's the basic thing about the trying to compare things in German. And this one is another example by saying, if you want to say the big, bigger, biggest, and so on. So you can come back to it and read through more for more clarity, right? And we have summary, right? So like I said, that we have the positive, which describe a noun without comparison. We have the comparative, which compare two things by adding er. And we have superlative, which is also describe the highest degree by adding xtn or estn. And genauso plus v is used to show equality, and adjective and als is used to show inequality. So if you have any questions so far about everything that I've said, you can please let me know. Okay. So far, so good. But today is the third day, and we are still focused and making sure that by the time that we are done with the class, you'll be speaking German, right? So as we are progressing, the little mistakes that you guys do, then I'll just have to make that corrections. So number one thing I realized is that always make sure that you have choose the right day here, right? That is, choose your lesson and day here. Okay. So make sure that the PDF and the grammar that you are opening, it correspond with this particular one. Else you are going to do mistake. Most importantly, if you want to do your assignments. Okay. And I also told you guys to always practice a day ahead. What you are supposed to practice a day ahead is just your expression, right? Just the presentation for the class. That's the only thing that I want you to practice ahead. And that's what you are going to use the custom charts in the exams tab to practice and just glance through this important information. Okay, and if you have the time and you want to read through the grammar, you can also. But the most important thing I'm interested in that you always check it before classes, the question of the day, since we are going to talk about it. So if you have the ability to do your assignment ahead of the class, it's fine. But my recommendation is that what I want you to practice ahead is just the question of the day, not the whole assignment. Okay. And another one too is that don't be jumping assignments. If I mark your work for you, come to my results and resources, click this one here, refresh for latest score. And if I've marked your work, you are going to see all your scores here. It will let you know your next assignment that you are supposed to do. And even if you have jumped any assignment. So please try and not make my work difficult for me. If you have not done assignment 1, don't jump to assignment 1.3. If you have not done assignment 2, don't jump to assignment 3. Make sure that you are using this one to progress, because if you have like 4 months or 3 months ahead of you, So you don't have to waste all the time, right? Just do the right thing. If you do the right thing, I'm just giving you just 3 weeks or 4 weeks. You will see the improvement that you will get with the language. So just follow the class structure. So if you have not done day one, don't come and jump to day 7. Okay. All right. And also to pasting your answers here, like if you paste your answers here and you type and everything, you click um send via WhatsApp, right? So you always confirm it that this one is your student code, the assignment that you are typing. If this one is different from the assignment that you want to submit, it means that you have not selected the right day, right? It means that this one was wrong. So if this one is correct, that's what you are going to uh, show here, right? And I want you guys to understand what I do after you submit your work. So I use the chapter and your student code and your name to input your score for it to show on the app. If I should just miss one word, for example, I just add AA to this one, your score won't show, right? Like if I should mix this one and do like this, your score won't show. So if you don't do it right, you force me to go back to the whole data again to go and check the exact name, and it makes my work difficult. All right? So please, let's make sure that your student code is the exact thing that I gave you. Your name too is here, and your chapter is here. You just click submit via WhatsApp and you send. I just saw a mistake here, so I'll fix it. I did some updates this morning. So this one is supposed to be 1, not 2, right? So I'll take 1 from there. It's just supposed to be 1. So I think these are some of the few errors. So I'm looking forward to see more improvements with the work submission today. Okay. So with the comparative again, I told you that with the comparative, we bring the adjective and we bring the else, which means that than. So grosser else is going to mean that bigger than. And the superlative, we start with the and we end with ext. So an example is going to be am schönsten. And comparing on the same level is genauso and v. So that is genauso and v. And nicht so is going to be nicht so teuer. So yeah. So vergleichen, comparative, like we have größer, schneller, interessanter. And forming it, like I said, that we are going to add er to the adjective. So we have my brother is so alt vh. My brother is as old as I am, and so on, right? I did all this explanation, so you can come and read through for more clarity. And the question for today is, kannst du es beiden get with the Personen beschreiben, vergleichen? So another advice I'll give you guys is that don't just focus on the workbook, because there are some things that for you to be able to do or say, you must understand the grammar. For example, like if you don't know how to use the genauso and the v, or you don't know how to use the aus, you won't be able to compare things, and you just write everything in your book and come and read it for me. And at the end of the day, you are just deceiving yourself. So please, the grammar, I make sure that I don't write more than 3 pages, as mostly 3 or some short, small pages. And I make sure that the English is very clear and self-explanatory. So please always read through the grammar. Make sure that you have the basic understanding with the grammar. If you don't understand anything with the grammar, just come and paste your question here. Maybe I don't understand this one, right? You just post your question here and I'll see it. Or your fellow students can also help you out. Or if you don't want to type at that place, you come to community, and the thing that you don't understand, just come and type it here that I don't understand this particular. Just post it here, and I'll come and respond it to you. So always make sure that you read through the grammar before you touch your workbook for your assignment. So the question is, kannst du zwei Dinge oder Personen vergleichen? Was sind die Unterschiede und Gemeinsamkeiten? So we have the keywords as größer und kleiner, schneller und langsam, besser und schlechter und teurer und billiger. And the challenge is that, like, if maybe we don't check it, you might just say that das Auto ist schneller als, maybe Benz ist schneller als Audi. Benz ist besser als Audi. Benz ist teuer als Audi. Benz is größer als Audi. Then you finish. That is not expression, right? That's why you're supposed to use the custom charts for it to give you how to go about it. And with the custom charts too, if you are using it and it gives you something that you don't understand, don't be afraid. Just ask it that I don't understand this particular phrase. Please break it down for me. And it's going to break it down for you. There's no need to use any translator there. Okay, I've trained it to be very, very friendly and supportive. So when you put a question there and you see a phrase that you don't understand, just say that I don't understand this particular word. Can you explain it for me? And it's going to ask you 8 questions. Please try and sit down and do it. Try and invest like 5 minutes. Sit down, or even if you are tired, make sure that you come and complete it. And it's going to summarize it for you in a way that you can use it for your class presentation. Okay. Teil 2 is dein Schreiben. So you have some few things to write here. And Teil 3 is dein Lesen mit 7 Fragen. And your recommended video that you can also watch. And Teil 4 is going to be your pouring. Okay, so I think that should be all for this particular chapter. So lass uns jetzt mit der Frage für heute anfangen.